Alrighty, good morning everyone. So I just woke up this morning to an email asking for a couple shorter practices. So I'm just gonna go ahead and start you guys off with about a 15-minute morning class. And so this class is centered in Ketona style yoga that my teacher studies, and it's very enlivening. So if you want to start sort of a morning routine and you want a little class that's just going to get you up and go, this will be the one. So if you have a block or just something to sit up on, we're going to have a seat. I've got all the animals. We're going to have a seat on a block in a cross-legged position, or you can choose Virasana or Hero's pose, sitting on your knees in a block. So when you're in your seated position as such, I want you to actually pull the flesh of your seat back so that you're sitting right up on the top of your perineum, your sitting bones, right there. And just tilt your pelvis forward just slightly. And if you can, rest your knees on the mat. That is ideal. So wherever you're at, we're going to begin by closing the eyes. And I will be leading us through a variation of Kapalabhati breathing. So as my teacher says, any type of good breath work should be counted. So it has a beginning, a middle, and an end, just like a good story. And so what we're going to do for Kapalabhati breathing, and I'm sorry, you can open your eyes, is we're going to reach our arms overhead and make little cups with our hands as such, and think about pushing the chest forward and turning your left heart just towards the right slightly. So for Kapalabhati breathing, it's a forceful exhale with a natural inhale. And so it's just a snap of the diaphragm, out through the nose and in through the nose. So it looks a little something like this. So it's a forceful exhale, and you can feel your diaphragm snap up and back, and then the inhale comes naturally. So you're just thinking X, 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 X with a pace like this. All right, and so if you do decide to make this your morning routine, you can just skip forward to right about here. So what we're going to do is we're going to do 50 Kapalabhati breaths, so 50 X, X, X. And then we're going to inhale to complete. So inhale completely through the nose. And then we're going to take extra sips of air in through the lips. So inhale, and then hold, and exhale completely. So that's what it's going to look like. And so we will come to our mat for a moment, close your eyes, rest your hands onto your knees, and take your shoulders up an inch, back an inch, and down an inch. And just come into your space, begin to deepen the inhale through the nose, and the exhale, making these breaths super deep, full of longevity, full of nutrients, breathing oxygen in through the body. Once you're ready, if you'd like to open your eyes, you can reach your arms overhead and make little cups with your hands, really reaching through the wrists and pulling the fingertips back. Once again, take a deep breath here, lift your chest, and on the exhale, slightly turn your chest towards the right. We're going to inhale 3/4 of the way to prepare and exhale to begin. So inhale 3/4 of the way and exhale, begin. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. 3 sips. Pause at the top. And exhale completely. Keep your hands overhead. We'll do one more like this. Inhale to prepare. And exhale, begin. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. 3 sips. And exhale everything out. Release your arms. Close your eyes and bring your hands onto your knees. And begin inhaling, moving from the base of your seat, from your pelvis. We're just going to begin to make circles in a clockwise direction or counterclockwise. And just begin to kind of stir your sternum, moving at the base of the pelvis. Exhaling, rocking back. Inhale to rock forward. And just begin to speed this up a little bit. Think about stirring the pelvis, moving onto your sits bones, rocking forward, and then switching the other direction, and stirring in the opposite direction. Deep breaths in and out through the nose. Slowly rocking back towards center. Plant your left fingertips beside you. On an inhale, sweep your right arm up and over. Find a nice stretch through the right side of the body. As you inhale, think about opening through the right lung, breathing in deeply, and exhaling. Inhale brings you back to center. And switching direction, sweep the left arm up and overhead. Really think about planting through the left hip crease, breathing into the left lung. And inhale brings you back. And releasing your block, we'll make our way into an all fours position. Stacking your knees below your hips and your wrists below your shoulders. Make sure they're at a 90-degree angle. And then spin your right arm back, right fingertips back, so your middle finger points towards your right kneecap. On an inhale, begin to find a little bit of a cat-cow. Exhaling, round the spine. And once again, if you want to reverse the breath and exhale in this shape, inhale in the other shape. It can be nice to get out of your habits and begin to move in the opposite directions that we're used to. If we wanted to stay the same, we wouldn't have to be doing yoga. Yoga is a way for us to get out of our habits and into our mind. And find out where we're having these realizations from, beginning in the body. Inhale, make your way back to center. Release your right hand, avoid rolling the wrist, and spin the left fingertips back so your middle finger points towards your kneecap. And once again, weight the inside edge of the hands, both hands on the L shape. And as you inhale, stretch the spine forward, take a deep breath in. Exhale, round the spine. Inhale, lengthening. Exhale. Maybe you play with an inhale here, round the upper back. And exhale to sink and soften in. And just take 1 or 2 rounds like this. On an inhale, flip your left hand forward and come back into child's pose. Stretch your fingertips forward and sway a little side to side here, moving into the hip creases. And inhale, we're going to roll forward, moving through all fours. And this time, lifting your toes, we're going to come into a baby back bend. There we are. Inhaling here. And exhale, up and back, child's pose. Inhaling, roll forward, find your little seal, lengthening the chest. And exhale back. And speeding up a little bit, inhale to rock forward, lengthen the spine. Exhale down and back. One more time, inhale, rock forward. And exhale, child's pose. And then inhale, come to all fours positions. And walk your knees in about hips distance once again. Curling the toes under, sit back onto the heels. And rock a little side to side, massaging the bottoms of the feet. The pads of the feet are representative of the lungs, so think about your next deep breath. Breathe all the way into your belly, into the soles of the feet. And planting your hands, looking forward, potentiate yourself, and slowly begin to send the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Take a moment here, wrap your armpits in towards your ears. Plant into the L shape of the hands. Take a few deep breaths, really send your sit points up and back towards the sky. And on your next inhale, send your right leg up and back. Exhale, bend the right knee, open the hip. Inhale, back to center. And exhale, step your right foot through. Lower down onto your back knee. Squeezing your left glute, inhale, reach your arms high. Push actively into the ball of your back foot. And think about dipping your pelvis down. Inhale, stretch the arms high. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, release your right fingertips and stretch your left hand up and over. Find a nice lateral extension. Take a deep breath into the left rib cage. And slowly reach the right arm back to center. Inhale, sink down and back. And exhale, release your hands. If you'd like to, you can kind of snug your right armpit into your kneecap. Sink your hips and just look forward here for a moment. Push actively into the ball of your back foot. Think about breathing into the pelvic bowl and keep your gaze shifted forward. We spend too much time looking down. Let's look forward this morning. Take one more nice inhale. And exhale, lift the back knee and step up and back, downward facing dog. On your next inhale, send the left heel up and back. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, bend the knee, open the hip. Inhale to stretch up and back. And exhale, step the left foot through. And lower down onto the back knee. Once again, keep those back toes curled under. Send breath into the lungs and push actively into the ball of the foot. On an inhale, begin to unwind like origami. Moving from the hip crease, reach the hands forward. Think about spinning the pinky tips in towards the face, opening and broadening across the shoulders. And once again, begin to sink in the hips. Think about pulling the bathroom muscles up and reaching through your fingertips. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, release your left arm and stretch your right fingertips up and over, finding a nice stretch through the side and the psoas. Breathing deeply into the chest, the belly. On your next inhale, left arm stretches up. Take a deep breath in. And exhale, return your fingertips to the mat. Once again, try to snuggle your armpit into your kneecap. Sink the hips, look forward. Push back into the ball of your foot and just take a few deep breaths. Try to breathe all the way into the belly, the pelvic floor. One more deep breath in. And exhale, lift the back knee. We'll step to downward facing dog. From here, bending the knees, keeping the knees bent, try to actively push into the heels and stretch your spine. Bring your lower belly towards your upper thighs and wrap your armpits in. Make this super active for a moment. Feel the stretch in the hamstrings, the calves, and the stabilization in the shoulders. On an inhale, bend the knees, look forward, and simply lower down onto the knees. And coming to stand on the knees. For today, or if you have tight quads, you can keep your toes tucked under, or you can plant them. Actually, for today, it doesn't matter. Think about pushing into the outer pinky edge of your toe if you're here, and bring your hands onto your waist for a moment. You'll notice your middle fingers are right onto your hip points. Engage your lower belly muscles and think about pulling your middle finger up slightly, and you'll feel some length in the lower back. So keeping this toning sensation in the lower belly, imagine that your chest is attached to a string or a thread pulling straight up. On an inhale, begin to lift your chest. Keep the little tuck of the pelvis. And just pause here for a moment. You can keep your hands here, just feeling around and influencing, kind of knowing how your body adjusts. Or if you'd like to, you can take your hands like you're sliding them into back pockets. If you're here, think about dragging your elbows towards one another and avoid pushing your pelvis forward. Instead, keep that little tuck. Squeeze the elbows together, lift the chest, and just take a few deep breaths here. And then notice the more you squeeze your elbows towards one another, the more openness you receive in the chest. And just take a few deep breaths, breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. One more time, inhale. And exhale, slowly come back towards center. Bring your fingertips to the mat. We'll take one final standing-ish pose. And we're simply going to sweep the right leg back behind the left, so we're crossing at the knees. From here, turn your toes out towards the outer edge of the mat. And you may have done this with me before, but we're going to simply scoot our seat back and begin to stand onto your knees. Now this takes a lot of balance, so you might want to have something readily available to lean on. But if you're here, we're going to grab onto our hips and squeeze the glutes. Think about propelling the pelvis forward. Squeeze your inner thighs tight. Push down into the tops of your feet. Think about shifting your right hip forward and your left hip back. And as you're ready, inhale, sweep your arms overhead and link opposite thumbs. So it looks like this overhead. Pull against your thumbs and reach your fingertips high. Propel your pelvis and your chest forward and slightly open your throat. Take a few deep breaths here. As you're ready, begin to lean your hips towards the right and reach your fingertips towards the left, finding a little side body stretch. Take a deep breath in through the right lung. And exhale back to center. Inhale, stretch up through the fingertips. And exhale, release your thumbs, cactus your arms, reach the chest, pull the elbows back. A few more like this. Inhale to reach. Exhale, bend the elbows. One more time, inhale. And exhale. Inhale, stretch the arms overhead. And exhale, slowly with control, begin to release the fingertips to the mat. And uncross the legs. This time, cross the left knee behind the right. Turn your toes to the outer edges of the mat. In order to stand up, once again, you might have to shift your hips back a little bit and squeeze your glutes as you push to stand. You'll feel a lot happening in the outer hips. Think about squeezing the glutes to propel the pelvis forward and lift through the chest. On an inhale, stretch your arms overhead. Take the opposite grip of your thumbs and pull your body apart. Reach your fingertips high. Take a deep breath in. This time as you exhale, send the hips to the left and stretch your fingertips to the right. Find a nice side body stretch. Breathe into the left lung. Take a deep breath in and out. Inhale, reach back to center. Squeeze your glutes, push your pelvis forward, and take a few steady breaths. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhale, stretch up. And exhale, elbows down and back. Inhale to stretch. And exhale. One more inhale. And exhale. This time, inhale, stretch your arms overhead. And exhale, slowly fingertips to the mat. Uncross your knees. And we'll make our way onto our backs. When you're coming down onto your back, keep your knees bent about hips distance apart. And resting your arms by your side, pull your knees towards you. We're going to work on some SI stabilizing. As you inhale, simultaneously stretch your arms overhead and lift your heels towards the sky. Inhale. And exhale, bend the knees, release your arms. And we'll just move here with breath. Beginning to match the movement with the cadence of the breath. Slowing things down, moving with purpose. Begin to feel a little irritation or maybe a little burning sensation across the lower back and the pelvis, just breathing with this. It's our body turning on all our tiny little muscles that stabilize us throughout the day and support good posture. Your next exhale. Release, grabbing your shins, pulling your legs towards you, maybe rocking a little side to side. If you'd like to take happy baby or any finishing postures, feel free to do so. Just closing your eyes. Awareness to the body, feeding sensation that needs to be fed, and releasing sensation that's toxic or not serving you. And as you're ready, begin to make your way towards a brief Shavasana, spreading your heels about mat distance apart. Give your hips a nice little shake side to side and tuck your shoulder blades underneath of your back. Release your arms either by your sides or palms face down on your belly, whatever you're needing today. Take a moment and flex and point your toes. Feeling a little tractioning sensation down the spine, dragging the skull with it. And as you're ready, on the exhale, just begin to relax the muscles, relax the shoulders, and the throat, soften the space between the eyebrows and the cheeks. And as you're lying here, imagine a word or a feeling that you want to have or feel today. And on the inhale, inhale, just say this feeling to yourself. And on the exhale, let it go. Now begin to bring a color to represent this feeling. And as you inhale, envision this color coming into your third eye center, the space between your eyebrows. Visualize this color as it comes in through the skull. And as you exhale, the color descends down your hair, your shoulders, all the way throughout the body, creating a glow around yourself. And with each inhale, just breathing in this color, this sensation. As you exhale, allow it to disperse throughout the body until, rather than the color surrounding you, you simply are the color. On your next inhale, begin to deepen the breath, beginning at the belly. Filling the abdomen with breath and vitality. As you're ready to take on the day, you can begin to expand this breath upward into the lungs and outward into the periphery, sending breath down the arms, down the legs. Eventually breathing into the soles of the feet and the palms of the hands. And on the exhale, just gently wiggling the toes and the fingertips. Once you're ready, inhale, reach your arms overhead, point and flex through the heels, the feet. Find a nice good morning stretch. And bending your knees, make your way onto one side. And we'll meet in a comfortable seat with your eyes closed to end practice. You can place your hands either in prayer at heart center or palms face down on your kneecaps. Take a deep breath in through the nose, go all the way through the crown of the head. And exhale out through the mouth. And once more like this, inhaling and exhale. And slowly blink your eyes open to greet the day. Thank you guys so much for practicing with me this morning. Hopefully I'll get out a few different variations of yoga that you can practice in the mornings and also in the evenings, so you can begin to develop a routine that fits your schedule and your life. Otherwise, I hope you guys have a lovely rest of your day. Namaste.